Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Beyond Strategy podcast. I am. We just got off the Power of Choice series, so if you did not actually listen to that, please go back to the last 5, 6 episodes. I had a powerhouse takeaway drop in the middle of it, but there was 5 episodes really around the power in choice and how every day, every moment, we are making choices and decisions that truly impact our life, whether we realize it or not in the moment. And to be honest, we subconsciously really are making those decisions and choices most of the time. There are that 5% that we're making at the top of our head, but please go listen. I would love to hear your takeaways. I would love for you to share it with people. But this episode is kind of a blend. It's a mix of a life update as well as kind of a little deep dive into intuitive leadership and what that means to me specifically, because that's a huge part of where my focus has actually been over the last 3, 4, 5 months, to be honest, is really leaning into being an intuitive leader and what that means, what I've been doing. So before I dive into all of that, the first thing that I wanted to dive into is actually just share with you, to be honest, kind of what's been going on for me. I've shared a lot about fractional COO work, which is turning into about 50% fractional work, 50% business consulting in my own business. I am so excited actually to see the momentum that's been happening. I briefly mentioned in the last episode that I have gotten to a point where I am actually seeking help and being able to hire help for the first time. May and June was the first kind of few months that my what would you call it, income was a little higher. And then July and August had blown me away. And obviously, in entrepreneurship and just as a business owner, it fluctuates month to month. So who knows what the rest of this year looks like? I mean, it's September 2025 when I'm recording this, and September is looking great. And I really won't know until we get into it much more. But the one thing I'm getting to do is hire. And something in me about getting to resource other people and bring them along and let them do something that they either love to do or that they're excited about or they're just willing to put in the time and energy into, and I get to financially support them in that way and resource them, has been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And it has always been a struggle for me to really be able to fully do that the way I want to. So it's been really exciting. I hired on an admin, very actually close dear friend of mine who worked for me in the past in the hotel world, who I've been able to bring on and actually pay the way I want to. I also finally have some podcast support, which has been a huge weight off my shoulders because, to be honest, I was not very consistent. I'm really great at sitting here and recording these episodes. That does not mean that I am on top of it on the back end of not even really editing, but getting it scheduled and getting the show notes done and getting an email out even and some reels, or at least one reel and a carousel. Just not where I thrived, especially when my business has had the momentum it has. So it's really exciting to be able to start to support myself in those ways, because it's not just about showing up in the business, it's about showing up at home for me too, in my life. We are about to start the process of house hunting and buying our first home. We have 3 dogs who I want to take to the dog park and go on walks with and go on hikes with, especially as we're getting into fall and the beautiful weather and the leaves will start changing. I mean, it's been crazy. This morning was 42 degrees when I was recording this. And literally it's September 2nd when I'm recording this, to be honest, and completely frank with you. So I'm just blown away with that and to get to see, but I want time. We're going to Europe for 2 weeks for my sister's graduation. She lives over there. So to be able to take that time off and not be stressed about my clients. I mean, I will be working during that trip some, and I don't want to be working the whole time and stressing about the things that are going on here back at home. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, is this hiring and this momentum and the whole term of hire before you're quite ready yet is also because of myself. And like I mentioned in the series, my health and wellness journey my health and wellness is so important to me. It's such a core value of mine. It ties into my business and what I believe with my clients, but really ties into I have to be living it first myself. And to do that means I can't be in meetings all day and calls and recordings and catching up on my to-do list. I have to have support so then I can go and take care of myself. I can meal prep. I can make a home cooked meal at night. I can go on a walk. I can go do my training because I'm still in the middle of training for the Dopey Challenge at Disney World in January. I can go do X, Y, and Z for me and read. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to dive into the reading quite yet. That could be a whole episode on itself, actually. And I think I might do just a fun episode at one point in time about it. But that's just kind of where I've been at. It's the business of seeing momentum. It's the idea that I want to take care of myself and prioritize myself. I want to prioritize my family and getting outside and honestly, community, because I've been missing connecting with other people, other women, entrepreneurs, and business owners, even just men. I've been missing getting in person to events here locally in Boone, North Carolina. I have been missing so many things about that, and also just wanting to host my own things too. And to do that, it's finding this beautiful harmony between it all and listening internally to my own intuition to tell me what is right now and what is not for now and what might not be ever. And honoring myself for whatever comes through intuitively for me. And so that's kind of where I will shift this conversation into intuitive leadership, because not only has all this momentum been happening the last 3, 4, 5 months, not only have I been really prioritizing recently myself and my family and starting to hire, I also have been working with a psychic mentor. I don't know what to call her exactly, but she's a psychic. But what her ultimate belief is really bringing us back to our roots, bringing us back to our true self, and listening to our own intuition and what is coming through for us. Whether that be just listening to intuition, listening to your guides, a higher power, whatever you believe in. And I've been working with her now. It's like 3.5 months. And we just recently pivoted more into psychic development more for myself. And again, intuition, really being able to turn inwards and listen to intuitively what is coming through for me, especially right now when it comes to decisions and opportunities that are coming my way. Or if I have a long to-do list now, I kind of know how to really intuitively figure out what to prioritize in the moment and what to accomplish versus getting caught up in the long to-do list and all the other things I need or want to be doing. I can really sit with, what do I need right now? What do I need to accomplish right now? What do I need to get done right now? And now, because of this development that I'm going through, because of this experience that I've had, I am leaning into incorporating that as a leader in my business with my clients. And it's not something that I need to be flashy and like, oh, I'm a psychic and I'm using this with my clients and I'm doing X, Y, and Z. No, that is not at all what I am doing. What I'm wanting to do is connect to my power that is able to intuitively bring through. Maybe it's some strategy for my client. Maybe it's thoughts and ideas. Maybe it's simply just like a yes or no to whatever question they just asked, but be able to hear internally what is being said, what is my intuition telling me, and vocalizing that confidently to my client, vocalizing that confidently to my team or the teams I'm working with. And it's such a different approach. And that's where, to me, intuitive leadership is not woo-woo per se. I mean, you can call it woo-woo if you want to, but I've actually gotten even away from that. And it's not that I'm a psychic and I'm using this intuitive ability to be a leader. It just means that I'm turning inwards and listening to my guides and opening up my channel to whoever you believe in, higher power, God, to allow things to come through to then share with them. And again, I'm not forcing on anything on anyone either. That's not what it means even to be in general a leader. To be a leader just means that you are, I'm probably gonna butcher this for some of you all, but I'm gonna tell you my own definition actually. And to me, being a leader is getting to both support, mentor, and guide from a place of you actually being, like you living the life, the business, run the business the way that you want them to. To be a leader, you have to live it, what you're sharing with them. You get to guide them. You get to be the mentor. You get to give the advice. But you also have to be living it yourself. And that's, I think, a lot of where that disconnection can come from. It's coming from a place of empathy, a place of understanding, a place of listening, being willing to listen to those around you. So going back to kind of what I was saying, when I talk about intuitive leadership, I'm going to have things come through and I'm going to share it with them. I'm going to share it with my clients. I'm going to share it with the teams. I'm going to share it with my own team. But also they get to choose to take it or leave it. They can act on it. They can brainstorm around the idea or the thought that came through, but that doesn't mean they have to act on it. And that to me is a good leader. You're not forcing anything on them. You aren't micromanaging them. You aren't telling them this is how it's done. And if not, then that's not the way and they can't do it any other way. But it's being able to confidently voice my thoughts and ideas and work collaboratively with other people to then be able to make whatever success is defined by them possible. And that's what I love. I love being able to do this. And it's newer for me, but I'm getting to incorporate it more and more on top of obviously all the knowledge and experience and expertise that I have. But intuitive leadership, it's what I am living by. I am leading myself first through this. And that's a huge piece of leadership, is you have to be able to lead yourself too, not just others, but lead you. And that's a big thing of what I'm doing right now, is getting to lead myself first. And then I get to share it with other people, and I'm already starting to, and it's fun. I'm getting to, with one of my clients, we do little drop-ins and I let her know if there's anything that's coming through for me at the moment. And then we jump into anything else that's coming up for her, and we dive into the business and we dive into the strategy and the operations. But it's really getting to connect on a deep level with ourselves, and then also get to really connect on a deep level with the business. Because I don't know about you, but business is fun. Business is great. But when you're just scratching the surface on the business itself, I feel like you're missing this deeper connection, the deeper purpose maybe of it, the deeper why behind all of it. And I don't like using why as much anymore. I used that a lot in the past, but I just have really enjoyed getting to sit with my clients and be like, okay, you're an architect, for example. But what's the deeper thing below that? This business, what is the purpose? What is that core reason you maybe started it? So it's the why. But then also deep down, what is the transformation? What is the thing that you are trying to create that's not just architecture? And when you dive in deeper to connect it specifically to the one client, it lights me up so much. Because then you get to bring that out in the communication to the clients that they're working with. You get to bring that out in their client journey. You get to bring it out into just every little thing they do versus just thinking about it as the business and architecture. So I've had so much fun. I use the architecture example because I work with an architect now, funny enough. I would never have used that in the past, but there's just a deeper level and understanding. But getting to intuitively connect to that deeper meaning, even for your own business, even for my own, I'll be honest, I've actually been lacking that. And that's something that I'm reconnecting to actively, in these moments, in these days and weeks around putting out this episode, because I've realized I really need to connect deeper to my purpose and my mission and that of the business again, to make sure that in my client journey, that all the communication I'm doing, what I'm pouring into it really does connect to that deeper level, because people are not buying for the business. They're buying for you or your team. It's something deeper. And that's what we have to reconnect to. So I am enjoying this idea of intuitive leadership. You might have your own definition. You might believe in something completely different and not agree with me at all. And that is completely fine. It is completely fine. I just wanted this opportunity to drop in and share it with you because I'm in the middle of understanding it all. And I think it's going to evolve. I know. I don't even think. I know it's going to evolve into something different and something more and bigger and better, at least a deeper understanding. But for now, this is where I'm at. And I'm so excited to be at this point and share it with you, because then as it evolves, then hopefully I get to share that with you too. And maybe I'm just sparking something in you to start thinking about, what does intuitive leadership mean to you? How do you currently lead yourself? How currently do you lead your team, your business, and lead it in your community? How does all of that intertwine and connect, and what does it mean to you? So that's what I'll leave you with today, is think about that. What does leadership mean to you? What do you reference that in or as? And where are you maybe a leader in your life right now? And again, it could be to yourself, but it could be externally to your community, your job, your business, etc., etc. So thank you so much for being here. I'm always going to ask this at the end, if you will share this, if you think somebody else needs to hear this episode. And I'm going to do another big ask, which is, if you are enjoying listening to the podcast, if you could please leave a 5-star review. Never somebody asks for reviews typically. If you can leave a 5-star review, I would love that, so we can get this podcast into the hands of more people. There's some amazing previous episodes, but there's a lot of amazing things coming too that I can't wait to share with you all. So I will see you next time. I hope you have an amazing day.